Right now, while you're watching this video, a silent battle is happening inside your arteries. And here's the truly frightening part. Most seniors have been watching the wrong number their entire lives. For decades, doctors told us to focus on the bottom number of blood pressure, the diastolic reading, the quiet number below the line, the one that seems calm and harmless. But groundbreaking research has turned that belief completely upside down. A massive study tracking over 1 million adults revealed something shocking. One blood pressure number predicts heart attacks and strokes with startling accuracy in people over 60. The other number, it barely mattered at all. This difference isn't small. It can literally mean the difference between life and death. Yet this critical information stayed buried in medical journals while millions of seniors kept focusing on the wrong thing. And it gets even more disturbing. The dangerous number doesn't simply rise with age, it behaves entirely differently in older adults. After 60, your arteries undergo a major transformation that changes all the rules. A reading that meant nothing at 40 can be a screaming warning sign at 70. Most people were never told this. They check their blood pressure at home, see two numbers, and have no idea which one truly deserves their attention. That confusion isn't just inconvenient, it's dangerous. Because when you focus on the wrong number, you may feel safe while your real risk keeps rising. And wait until you hear what researchers discovered next. A landmark 2019 study published in one of the world's most respected medical journals analyzed 36 million blood pressure readings. 36 million. What they discovered about the top number forced health organizations to rewrite official guidelines. This single finding explains why so many seniors with acceptable blood pressure still suffered heart attacks and strokes. The answer was hiding in plain sight. By the end of this video, you'll understand exactly why this matters for your health and what you can start doing today. Before we begin, tell us in the comments your age and where you're watching from. We read and reply to every comment. Now, let's begin. Item number 5, the diastolic deception in aging arteries. Let's start with something that surprises almost everyone. That bottom number, the diastolic pressure, becomes less important as you age. Diastolic pressure measures the force in your arteries when your heart rests between beats. For younger adults, it's meaningful, but after 60, something remarkable happens. A long-term study published in the Journal of the American College of Cardiology followed over 8,000 adults for more than 20 years. The results were eye-opening. In people under 50, high diastolic pressure strongly predicted future heart problems. But in people over 60, that connection almost completely disappeared once systolic pressure was taken into account. In simple terms, the number many seniors worry about the most barely matters compared to the one above it. Why does this happen? When you're young, your arteries are flexible and elastic. They stretch and recoil with every heartbeat. But over decades, those arteries stiffen, elastin is replaced by collagen, calcium builds up, the vessels lose their ability to expand. As a result, the heart must push harder. Systolic pressure rises, diastolic pressure stays the same, or even drops. This leads to a condition called isolated systolic hypertension, affecting nearly 30% of adults over 65. The top number is high while the bottom number looks normal. For years, this pattern was dismissed as normal aging, but the research tells a very different story. The famous Framingham Heart Study showed that isolated systolic hypertension dramatically increases the risk of heart failure, stroke, and kidney disease regardless of diastolic pressure. So, if you're over 60 and your bottom number looks fine while your top number creeps upward, do not assume everything is okay. That pattern deserves attention. The good news? While arterial stiffening can't be fully reversed, it can be slowed. Regular physical activity preserves arterial flexibility better than almost anything else. One study from the University of Texas found that people who exercise consistently had arteries resembling those of individuals 20, 30 years younger. The message is clear. Never ignore the top number just because the bottom one looks reassuring. Item number 4, the pulse pressure gap, the hidden number. There's a third number hiding in your blood pressure reading that most people never calculate. It's called pulse pressure, and it's one of the most overlooked risk indicators in seniors. Pulse pressure is simply the difference between your systolic and diastolic numbers. 140/80. Your pulse pressure is 60. And this gap tells a powerful story. A large study published in Hypertension followed nearly 20,000 older adults for 15 years. Researchers found that every 10-point increase in pulse pressure raised cardiovascular risk by about 13%. even when both numbers look normal. Same systolic number, very different risk. A wide pulse pressure signals stiff arteries, vessels that can't absorb pressure properly. That force gets transmitted directly to your brain, kidneys, and heart with every beat. A pulse pressure above 60 is concerning. Above 80 is dangerous. The Rotterdam study found that pulse pressure predicted dementia and cognitive decline better than either blood pressure number alone. Managing pulse pressure means focusing mainly on lowering systolic pressure, not forcing diastolic too low. Reducing sodium intake helps significantly. One University of Delaware study showed that cutting sodium below 2,000 hydrometers daily improved arterial flexibility within just 5 weeks. Your arteries respond quickly when given the chance. Item number 3, the morning blood pressure surge. Your blood pressure follows a daily rhythm, and for seniors, the most dangerous time is the first few hours after waking. This is known as the morning blood pressure surge, and it explains why heart attacks and strokes occur most often between 6 a.m. and noon. A major Japanese study found that seniors whose blood pressure jumped more than 55 points from nighttime to morning had double the risk of stroke. Same average blood pressure, completely different risk. Why does this happen? Cortisol rises, adrenaline increases, blood thickens overnight, platelets become stickier. In stiff aging arteries, this daily surge becomes a repeated assault. Checking blood pressure within 1 hour of waking, before medication, reveals this pattern. If your morning readings are consistently 40 points higher than evening readings, it's worth discussing with your doctor. Simple habits help. Drink water immediately after waking, eat breakfast within 2 hours, move gently before standing up. Small actions. Big protection. Item No. 2 blood pressure. Variability. The silent risk. It's not just how high your blood pressure is, it's how much it fluctuates. A massive analysis in the Lancet Neurology showed that seniors with highly variable systolic pressure had a 65% higher risk of stroke, even with similar averages. Fluctuations damage artery linings, destabilize plaques, and accelerate vascular aging. Consistency matters. Long-acting medications, consistent timing, and regular measurement reduce this risk significantly. Stable pressure protects your arteries far better than numbers that swing wildly. Item number 1, systolic blood pressure, the number that matters most. After decades of research, one conclusion is crystal clear. For seniors, systolic blood pressure is the most important number. The SPRINT trial followed over 9,000 adults and found that lowering systolic pressure below 120 reduced cardiovascular events by 25% and deaths by 27%. The benefits were strongest in adults over 75. Why? Stiff arteries can't buffer pressure. Every heartbeat sends damaging force to vital organs over time. This leads to cognitive decline, kidney disease, and heart failure. A massive analysis of 36 million readings confirmed this. For every 20-point rise in systolic pressure, the risk of death roughly doubled. With no safe upper limit. The myth of acceptable high systolic pressure in seniors is officially dead. Lifestyle changes help. Sodium reduction, exercise, weight loss, sleep, stress control, but medication is often essential. Treating isolated systolic hypertension saves lives. Final thoughts. Blood pressure management after 60 isn't about perfection, it's about understanding which numbers matter, which patterns are dangerous, and what actions truly protect your heart and brain. Now we want to hear from you. Is your blood pressure higher in the morning? Do you or someone you know have hypertension? Share your experience in the comments. We read every single one. Thanks for watching.